Your path is uniquely yours. It fuels your soul's journey, your gifts, and your contribution to the world. No one else can walk it for you, so honor it. Why jealousy and comparison are not working, the energy drain you don't need. Welcome back to Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast. I'm Tami Mahmali, and today we are diving into one of the biggest roadblocks to personal freedom, jealousy and comparison. You know that feeling when you see someone thriving, busy, taking action, and moving forward in an area where you have struggled? Maybe it's their career, their relationship, their confidence, and instead of feeling inspired and learning from them, you feel deflated. You feel like a loser compared to them. There is a tightness in your chest, sinking in your stomach, and that creeping thought, why? Why them? Why not me? What's wrong with me? It's even harder when they have the exact thing you have been longing for. Maybe it's the relationship that makes them glow, the success that seems effortless, the confidence to be truly themselves. You want to be happy for them, but deep down it stings. It feels unfair, like you have been left behind while everyone else is moving ahead. But here's the truth: what you're seeing is only the surface. You don't know their full story, the struggles they've faced, or the insecurities they hide. And the more you focus on their journey, the more you disconnect from your own. Comparison tricks you into believing you are behind, when in reality, your path is simply different. To be real, this is something I've experienced for most of my life. I used to think that everyone else had somehow received their manual for living, and I was the only one left out. It felt like I was missing some crucial piece of information, and because of that, I couldn't make it. I would compare my messy, uncertain, inner struggles to other people's polished outward successes, thinking I was falling behind, broken, or just not meant for the kind of success and happiness they had. But here's what I have learned over the years and what I want to share with you today. Jealousy and comparison are not just mental traps. They are energetic blocks that keep us from stepping into our highest, most authentic selves. If we don't release them, they manifest in every area of our lives, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. They drain our energy, heighten anxiety, and disconnect us from our intuition, making it harder to trust our own special, unique path. The first time I truly understood this was when I read the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. His work opened my eyes to how deeply our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we reinforce a mindset of lack and unworthiness, which then shows up in our energy, our actions, and even our opportunities. Yet the good news, just as we create these blocks, we can also clear them, and that's what I want to dive into today. And here's the truth: if jealousy is not moving us forward, it's holding us back. It's not just about the thoughts we have, it's about the energy we carry every time we allow comparison and envy to take root. They don't just stay in our minds, they seep into our energy field, shaping how we see ourselves, how we show up, and what we believe is possible for us. Jealousy is a signal that we desire something deeper, but instead of using it as fuel, we often let it become a wall that keeps us stuck. It robs us from our clarity, our confidence, and our ability to take aligned actions, the more we focus on what someone else has, the more we disconnect from our own God's unique gifts, delaying the very things we want to manifest and bring into our lives. The way to heal jealousy is not by fighting it, but by realizing that the things you desire are not outside of you. They're possible, they are inside of you, waiting to be recognized by you. This is such an important reminder. When we feel jealousy or start comparing ourselves to others, it's often because we see something in someone else that resonates with what we truly want for ourselves in our lives. So instead of letting that jealousy pull us down and feel like shame and guilt about that, we can use it as a tool for growth. It's like an invitation to recognize, accept that this is just what it is, that what we are admiring others is actually possible for us too, and that it's time to actually ask what's more possible for me and claim it. And here's the part most people don't realize. When we carry jealousy, we lower our vibration, making it harder to attract the opportunities, relationships, and successes we crave. It becomes a cycle. We feel like we are behind, we compare, we contrast, and in that contraction, you can feel it in your body. We block the flow of abundance that meant for us. But what if instead of letting jealousy drain us, we learn to deal with it? What if we turn it into an asset, inspiration, into proof of what's possible for us also, like into a reminder that if it exists in someone else's life, it can exist in ours too. The moment we shift from why them to if they can, so can I. Everything changes. We step back into our power, our clarity returns, and we start moving forward, not from a place of lack, but from a place of endless possibility. I know the feeling of jealousy and comparison firsthand. From a very early age, I felt different. I felt like I'm a failure, like something wrong with me. Like I saw and understood things on a deeper level that didn't match my age. When we moved from Iran to Israel, that feeling only intensified because I didn't have anyone that I could share these feelings with. And I was very young, I was like 5 or 6 years old. I think it was because we had lost everything my parents had spent their entire lives building. And on top of just being a child trying to adapt, I could hear, see, and feel my parents' unspoken thoughts, their stress, their grief. It was really overwhelming for a little girl. And that experience planted a belief deep within me that others were somehow better and capable than me. Also, as a child, I truly believed my mom loved my siblings more than me. Whether or not it was true didn't even matter. That belief took root and shaped the way I saw myself for years. I felt like I wasn't enough, like I had to constantly prove, fight to be seen, to be loved, not just by her, but by everyone around me. And this is really exhausting. That overwhelming belief followed me into adulthood, morphing into body image struggles, a constant sense of not belonging, and this fear of being too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too intense. I worried that if I let my full self be seen by others, people might not like me, so I shrunk myself. I abandoned who I truly was to be more acceptable in others' eyes. I often compared my inside, my fears, my struggles, my self doubt to other people's perfectly curated outsides. And because I carried what I felt like secrets, things I was ashamed of, I held myself back. I saw others achieving the things I wanted, and instead of learning how to process those emotions, I avoided the people, places, situations that triggered my insecurities. I convinced myself it was better that way, but in reality, inside, I was drifting further and further from my own potential, my voice, my gifts, until eventually I felt completely alone, misunderstood, unseen, and even more not belonging. Because the me I had created, the one that was shaped by the outside expectations, wasn't really me at all. It was just a persona I created to be loved. It wasn't until I hit a breaking point, looked like crippling anxiety and depression, that I finally asked for help, and that's when everything began to shift. One of the most powerful things I had to do was break apart the old script I had been living by and create a new one. A script that didn't come from external validation but from within me. And this took me like 16 years. And that's exactly why I'm talking about this today, because I don't want you to feel alone in this. We all experience jealousy, it's very normal. But believe it or not, there is such a thing as healthy jealousy. My sister Yael always tells me that my jealousy was actually a gift because, in a way, it pushed me to go after what I wanted. The drive behind it wasn't always healthy, I'm gonna be honest here, but it did get me moving. And now I have learned to transmute that energy not into depletion, moralization, but into inspiration, loving and owning my gifts, sharing them with others instead of hiding them. And that's what I want for you too. Why comparison is energetic drain? If you have listened to my other podcast, you already know that every thought and emotion carries a vibration. And jealousy, it's one of the lowest frequency emotions you can sit in. Comparing yourself to someone else is a one-way ticket to feeling doomed. And here's why. Comparison only works when two things share the same foundation. But not two people have the same soul journey, the same starting point, or the same challenges. I'm sure you would agree with me on this, right? It's like comparing a fish to a bird and wondering why the fish cannot fly. It's absurd. Your path is uniquely yours. It fuels your soul's journey, your gifts, and your contribution to the world. No one else can walk it for you, so honor it. It took me years to understand that. When we compare ourselves to others, we create an energetic gap between where we are and where we think we should be. That gap is filled with feeling of lack, unworthiness, and frustration. Instead of focusing on our growth and building who we are and making it great, we get stuck in someone else's journey. Today I see how ridiculous it is. Pouring all this energy into an illusion instead of building our own unique reality. What about all the jealousy we feel toward others? At its core, jealousy just resistance to becoming our highest, fullest, truest selves. We have been conditioned to believe we are not good enough, that we must constantly strive to be better than others. We have learned to judge and criticize ourselves, worrying about what others think of us. Yet, we could never treat others as harshly as oftentimes we treat ourselves. I believe the root of the problem lies in the belief that others hold all the answers. That was my thing. I always thought everyone else knows better than I do, that they know better than we do. We compare ourselves to them instead of striving to be the best version of who we were yesterday. We look outside ourselves for validations, assuming that the truth always comes from someone else, that someone out there knows more, is more capable, more worthy than us. But no one ever told us that we are already whole, that we don't need to be perfect. As my teacher Sharona often says, are we willing to tear down without rebuilding the past? Stories we have been told about who we are and how we should measure ourselves against others? Are we willing to let go without reconstructing all the judgments, distractions, anger, guilt, shame, jealousy, and criticism that we have carried against ourselves since we were born? Can we learn to look at ourselves and accept every part of who we are as a gift instead of envying what others have? Can we welcome our own unique blessings? Are we willing to destroy and rewrite everything that has turned our lives into suffering instead of paradise? Our struggle with jealousy comes from the belief that we must conform to an illusionary reality shaped by others' perspectives. But the truth is, until we find peace within ourselves, accepting every part of who we are, the light and the shadow, the good and the bad, the wisdom and the foolishness, the strength and the weakness, the pain, the past, and all our broken pieces, we will never feel whole. Because wholeness comes when we are at peace with our truth and who we are without the need for comparison. When we recognize that on our soul's journey, we are already enough, just as we are. The universe needs the unique gifts that only we can offer. And the moment we truly learn to love ourselves, everything that once felt stuck will start flowing. Miracles will unfold. I have witnessed that so many times. The things we already longed for, we want, will finally happen because our inner peace will shift our energy and the universe will respond, taking our hands and guiding us toward making our dreams a reality. Let me tell you this, unhealthy jealousy has no place in our lives anymore, especially now after 2025 that we're diving into a new era. Most of us know the pain of jealousy, how it keeps us trapped in endless cycle of suffering, stuckness, blinding us to the beauty around us and the greatness within us. And if I were to ask whether you would want your children, the next generation, to carry on the same struggles, I'm almost sure your answer will be a strong no. You don't want to continue this to the other generations. So let me tell you this pattern, these beliefs, they are energy. They pass from generation to generations until someone chooses to break the cycle. And I choose to do that for my own daughters. The moment we shift our perspective on ourselves, our entire view of the world will transform, and that transformation will allow us to create real change because you are a divine creation. The world asks for you exactly as you are to make this space a better, more expensive place for everyone. Now that we have uncovered how jealousy and comparison keep us stuck, it's time to shift from simply recognizing these patterns to actively transforming them. Awareness is the first step, but real change happens when we take intentional action. This is exactly what I did in my own journey, and it's the process I guide my clients through to help them break free from these emotional and energetic blocks. So let's dive into 5 powerful steps that will help you heal these feelings, reclaim your energy, and move forward in a way that aligns with your higher self. First step is awareness, identifying the root of your jealousy. Jealousy is never truly about others. It's about what we feel is missing within ourselves. Understanding this brings clarity to what you truly desire. Think back into times when you did things not because they genuinely resonated with you, but because you were trying to keep up with someone else. Maybe you did something out of jealousy, followed trends you didn't care about, or even people please just to feel accepted. This is what I did most of my life. I was like a kisser. How often have you bought things you didn't actually want simply because someone else said that? I did that so many times. Because when we act from jealousy or comparison, we basically disconnected from our own true desires and we lose sight of what actually fulfills us, what we really like and want. So, next time when jealousy comes up, pause, take a deep breath, and notice the energy and emotions inside yourself. You can ask, what is my truth? What is the deeper feeling beneath it? What is my inner voice trying to tell me? Speak to yourself with kindness and compassion throughout this process. It's important to be gentle. It takes a minute to do things differently. The most important part is to remember that you have a choice to change and choose differently, even if it's every 10 minutes. And instead of resisting, allow the jealousy to get bigger. Don't shut it down. Stop resisting. I used to say in the beginning, yes, I am jealous. So what? I'm jealous, so what? Yes, I'm jealous, so what? Instead of just, no, I'm not. I'm just goody girl. I'm perfect. And just surrender to it rather than fearing it or fighting with your emotions. You will not die, I promise. I didn't die. I'm still alive. I'm recording this podcast for you. I'm still here, right? Then ask yourself, what am I truly wanting? What belief is making me feel less than others? What is the root of it? Is that belief is true? Really true? I learned that from Byron Katie. Often the feelings we experience are not rooted in the present moment. They are voices of the past experiences. And I will even add that sometimes this jealousy might be even from lifetimes ago, generations ago. They might even belong to your mom or your dad. You can ask yourself, truth, is this jealousy even mine? Who does it belong to? I've often found that the jealousy I feel doesn't even belong to me. It's something passed down to me from my parents or someone else's in my life. Then take a moment to hug yourself for doing this work that it's so uncomfortable and sit in this awareness. There is no right and wrong. You don't need to do much more because the awareness alone opens doors to letting go and willingness to choose differently. You have a choice. And I encourage you, instead of seeing jealousy as a negative emotion, reframe it. It's a really signpost guiding you toward your own voice. The second step is shifting perspective from comparing to finding it inspiring. Jealousy tells us that someone else has something we don't. It makes us feel like we are lacking, like we are behind or we missed out on something we should have. But what if instead of letting jealousy drain us, we use it as a signpost, as an invitation to expand what we truly believe is possible for ourselves? The truth is, when we see someone succeeding in an area we also want to succeed, it's not a reminder of our shortcoming. It's a reflection of what's available for us. If someone else has built for example, this is something that I used to struggle, a successful business, found deep love, or stepped into full confidence, it means it's possible not just for them, but for you too. Some people are just happy because they're free. Instead of staying stuck in the feeling of lack, turn it into question. What is my truth? What would it look for me to step into that reality? And imagine how the feeling is expanding, contracting. What action would I take if I knew it was already mine? And I like to reframe the mindset instead of why them and not me. You can shift it. If they can have it, I can too. And you always can take small steps. Instead of shifting in comparison, you can take inspired action to move forward. The third step is forgiveness, healing the wounded parts of you. Because our tendency to compare ourselves to others comes from childhood wounds. moment when we felt unseen, unloved, or simply not enough. That's my opinion. These experiences usually shape the way we see ourselves, making us believe we need to measure up to be worthy, to prove ourselves. But the truth is, it's time to let it go. Those stories suck. They're not even our reality. We don't need to carry them. They're too heavy. So you can take a moment, you can close your eyes and picture your younger self. What would you say to them today? Maybe you need to apologize. I needed to apologize because I couldn't see my gifts. I was having this idea that I'm broken. I couldn't see my gifts. So I had to practice this forgiveness every day. And now I just say to myself, I touch all my body and I say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, until the energy shifts. And then I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, until a sense of expansion and peace washes over me. I learned this from my teacher, Sharona, and it has been one of the most healing practices in my journey. And you always can remember your gifts. And one of the most powerful tools I used in the past, and I still use them with my clients, is the Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian practice of forgiveness. It's simply yet profound. You repeat, I am sorry for the things I did. In this case is my jealousy. Please forgive me for bringing this energy. Thank you. I love you. It goes like this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Say it to yourself. Say it to others. Say it until you feel something shift in your energy. And if you want to dive deeper and learn more, you can check my podcast about the Ho'oponopono. Step 4, gratitude. Focusing on what you have. This is a powerful way to dissolve jealousy and comparison, to be grateful, to say thank you, to see the gifts. When we focus on what's missing, we reinforce a sense of lack. But when we shift our attention to what we already have, we invite a wave of positive energy into our lives. Gratitude expands our awareness, helping us see the abundance that already surrounds us, not just in the form of money, 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 but in our health, our relationships, the kindness of others, the gifts that we get, the food in our refrigerator, the comfort in our home, the people we love, and the countless small blessings we often overlook. And you may try this. Take a moment to write down at least 5 to 10 things that are gifts you have, things that make you special, things you are truly grateful for. It could be your resilience, your creativity, even your skin, your hair, your eyes, the people who support you, or even recent experiences that brought you joy. And the more you appreciate yourself and your journey, the less space for comparing or getting jealous. And for me, I practice gratitude every morning. Like I repeat affirmations, whatever is it. I don't want to give you affirmations because in the beginning it was, I love you, I love you, I love you. You're a gift. I personally keep special journal where I write down everything big or small that I appreciate. And something amazing happens when I do this. I start noticing more magical moments throughout my day. It's helped me to center myself to the beauty and harmony that's happening around us. This really keep me grounded, and excited. The 5th step is taking action, owning your unique path. The most powerful way to move beyond jealousy is to fully accept and welcome your own journey and take every day small actions that empowering you toward your goals. And if you need help to support you, please contact me. I would love to support you and do that with you. Remind yourself, when the voice comes and you become jealous, remember, jealousy is not a fly. It's just a messenger for you, a signal that guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Instead of letting it pull you down, the next time you find yourself comparing yourself to others and feeling jealous, pause, stop everything, acknowledge it. And let this feeling be the fire that fuels your transformation. Accept it instead of resisting or making yourself feel bad. Then shift your focus. Write down everything you have right now, your strengths, your blessings, your unique gifts. Reflect on how excited you are to share yourself, your contribution with the world in your own way. You already have everything you need inside of you. The moment you stop comparing, stop doubting, and start owning your unique path, life shifts. You become magnetic. You become sexy. Opportunities unfold. Peace replaces struggle. So as we close this episode, I was so passionate about that. It took me hours to write it. And I hope you benefit from it. I really invite you to take deep breath and ask yourself, what is my truth? What if I choose to fully welcome who I am today? What if I stop dimming my light and let myself shine fully? Because the world needs you. Not a version of someone else, not a comparison, not a shadow, just you. And when you step into that truth, everything changes. It's boring to compare ourselves, want to be like a copy of someone else. If this speaks to you and you want to understand it on a deeper level, you can reach out to me and I will show you how to apply this in a way that is simple, natural, and really easy. And if today's episode resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts. What was your biggest takeaway? You can share with me on social media or send me a message. I always love hearing from you and connecting with you. And if you're ready to dive deeper into healing, releasing emotional and mental baggage, and truly stepping into your own power, I'm here to guide you. You can book a session with me or explore more episodes for tools and insights to support you on your journey. Until next time, remember, you're enough, you're whole, you're exactly where you need to be. Sending you love always. If you're curious and want to dive deeper, you are in the right space. I ask you to look within for all the things that you want to do, be, and have. Join me at the Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast with new episodes every Wednesday as we discover the path towards healing and transformation.